House Liberal MP Dennis Jensen's been critical of the budget. Here he is.
Medical research saying we need imaging technology for the human body. They came about as a result of curiosity about the structure of matter and how energy and matter interact.
Describe the image of your government cutting funding to science research, then introducing a new tax to fund medical research.
Well,
how would you describe it?
I just think it's, quite frankly, it's incoherent. The one side, the increase in funding, and the other side, the cuts.
Just quickly in regards to the Royal Commission into child abuse, it appears that $7 million from that has been diverted into the Royal Commission into that scheme. How do you think that victims of child abuse are going to feel when they see that headline in the papers today?
Well, I can't comment on that because I don't know anything about it, sorry.
One of your colleagues has described the sale of the budget as atrocious. How would you describe it?
I think that probably the bigger problem than selling the budget has been the lead up to the budget. I think that we haven't adequately tilled the ground, for want of better terminology. We haven't adequately sort of laid out what the problem is and then brought the solution, because there is a problem. There's a huge problem with the budget.
Is that what voters are telling you? They don't think that there's a budget emergency and the government hasn't told you so?
Well, I think that there's a slight understanding of the problem, but not the depth of it. The fact that the trajectory of the rise of borrowing and spending is among the highest, if not the highest, in the developed world.
And whose failure is that?
It's a collective one.
But is it the government's? Isn't it their duty to tell the public?
Yeah, as I said, it's collective. It's ultimately it's probably on all of us, but it's a message that we had to put out there before the budget. I mean, we, in my view, had to explain the, you know, not tell the details of what the budget was going to have, but in knowing beforehand what the budget was going to have, foreshadowed some of the things that were going to happen.
Were there too many leaks before the budget was delivered?
Well, I think leaks are obviously not particularly helpful, but the issue wasn't the leaks. The issue was the not sort of foreshadowing those changes in the first place. You know, in effect, predisposing people to an understanding that those changes were going to happen.
Just to clarify on the Medical Research Fund and your concerns about cuts to research, what needs to happen now? Does the Research Fund need to stay, or does the proceeds from that need to go back into the CSIRO or DSI?
Well, I believe that the funding for the research organisations needs to be not necessarily completely restored, but almost completely restored. Where that comes from is obviously not for me to say. I'm not suggesting pulling it out of medical research to put it into other research. I'm just saying that the message there is very mixed.
So was Joe Hawkins, just on the future fund medical research, was he sort of clutching at straws, if you like, when he said we could be, you know, curing cancer as a result of this? You say that's not the way that medical advances happen.
Well, that's right. I mean, how is this fund going to be structured when you think about it? Are we going to specifically direct that all of that money is directed towards cancer research and Alzheimer's and dementia? How are we going to try to direct that? What is defined as medical research? These sorts of things are questions that haven't been answered. Thanks.